Welcome to the Explainer. You know, sometimes in Salesforce development, you hit these topics that seem super complex. Well, today, we're tackling one of those head-on, the @future method. And I promise, by the end of this, we're going to make it so simple, you'll wonder why it ever seemed complicated.
All right, so to really get this, let's start with a problem. A really frustrating problem that I think we can all relate to. It perfectly sets the stage for why @future even exists. You know the feeling, right? You're completely gridlocked. Horns are going off, no one's moving, and you've got somewhere you need to be. It's that feeling of being totally stuck, totally powerless. Just blocked. And here's the thing about a traffic jam. It's all sequential. One thing has to happen before the next. If that one car at the front breaks down, guess what? The whole line stops. Your problem is their problem, and their problem is everyone else's problem. That, right there, is a perfect picture of what we call synchronous processing in code. Okay, so let's bring this into Salesforce. A user clicks Save, but behind the scenes, a really heavy process has to kick off. Maybe a complicated calculation or a call out to another website. In a synchronous world, what happens to the user? They're just staring at a spinning wheel, totally frozen until everything is done. It's awful. But what if? What if you could just skip the traffic jam? And this is where it gets cool. Salesforce actually gives us a way to do just that. It's like a secret shortcut, a special lane to get around all that digital gridlock. It's basically magic for your UI.
Just imagine, right next to that huge traffic jam, a special VIP lane just opens up. It's totally empty. Now, it's not for everybody, right? It's just for those critical tasks that can't be stuck waiting. They get to just fly right on by.
And this really breaks it down, doesn't it? The main road, that's your normal synchronous process. Everything's in a single line, one delay stops everyone, and the user is stuck waiting. But that VIP lane, that's asynchronous. Tasks run on their own, the main process keeps moving, and the user gets an instant response. So, how do we get into that VIP lane? Well, that's where the @future method comes in. It is literally your key.
Okay, so how do we do it? How do we get our code this VIP pass to the fast lane? Is there some complicated secret handshake? Nope. It's actually shockingly simple.
That's it. @future. This one little annotation is your golden ticket. You just slap it on top of your method, and it's like a signal flare to Salesforce that says, hey, this one, take it out of the main traffic and run it over there, in the background, whenever you've got a second. Seriously, think of it like putting one of those special stickers on your windshield. The car, your code, is exactly the same, but that sticker tells the system, oh, this one gets special treatment. It gets pulled out of the main line of traffic and sent down the express route whenever there's an opening. Now, there is one really important catch. This VIP pass, it only works for methods that are static. And all that means is that the method can't be tied to a specific instance of an object. It needs to be able to stand on its own, you know? It has to be self-contained so Salesforce can just pick it up and run it whenever, without needing any other context. All right, so we've got our pass. We're ready to hit the VIP lane. But just like any exclusive club, there are some rules, and these are important. You got to know the rules of the road to use this thing correctly. So here's a good question. Let's say you're in the VIP lane. Can you tell another car, hey, you should get in a different VIP lane? In other words, can you call one future method from inside another future method? And the answer is a big, fat no. You can't chain them together like that. Think of it like this. Each VIP trip has to be launched from the main road. You can't have one VIP car dispatching another one. Salesforce does this on purpose to stop us from creating these insane, tangled chains of background jobs that would be an absolute nightmare to debug. Okay, this next rule, this might be the most important one of all, so listen up. It's all about what you're allowed to pack in the car. What kind of instructions or data can you actually give to your driver in the VIP lane? And this is so critical. It's all about making sure your code isn't working with old, stale information. See, you can't pass a full record, like an entire account object. That's like handing your driver a physical package. By the time they get to the destination, that package could be outdated. Instead, you have to give them the permanent address, the record ID. Why? Because when the future method finally runs, maybe a few seconds or a minute later, it can use that ID to go fetch the absolute latest version of that record. It guarantees you're working with fresh data. So the rule of thumb is, keep it simple. You can only pass in what we call primitive data types, things like a string, an integer, a boolean, and of course, an ID. Or you can pass a list or set of those primitives. But what you can't do is pass the whole S object. No accounts, no contacts, none of that.
Okay, so we know what it is and we know the rules. But why bother? Where is this VIP lane actually useful? Let's talk about some real-world destinations, the things you'll actually use this for.
This right here is the absolute classic example. The #1 reason people use @future. It's for calling an external system or an API. So picture this. A user clicks Save. Instantly, the screen unlocks and they can keep working. But in the background, quietly, our @future method wakes up and makes that slow, long-running callout to another web service. The user experiences zero lag. It's perfect.
But it's not just for API callouts. @future is your secret weapon for any heavy lifting you need to offload. Got a super complex calculation that might hit a governor limit? Put it in a future method. Ever run into that dreaded mixed DML error where you can't update a user and say an account in the same transaction? A future method is the classic way to solve that. It's all about making your app faster, more resilient, and just better.
So there you have it, the @future method. It's your VIP pass to the asynchronous express lane. It's how you bypass those digital traffic jams and give your users a lightning-fast experience. Now that you have the keys, what are you going to build?